We said it all before. How could you have two different lives for one person?
We did it. Let's go.
Eyes hurt and pain. Who say when it won't be the same? From San Diego to Georgia, Chi-Town to Indiana. We loved up, came up, and now we here. If you a Nugent, you gon' win. So mates to the end. I bruised you, you bruised me, but baby, we're not broken. I bruised you, you bruised me, but baby, we're not broken. I bruised you, you bruised me, but baby, we're not broken.
Good
But baby, we're not broken.
It is good.
Oh.
And to be able to have an evening with my wife, that's a shoot. It's a great thing. I tell you that. Even Christmas. Even Christmas. This has been 27 years now of Christmases. And this is
27.
Yeah, 27 years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a beautiful thing, man. And your birthday.
And my birthday.
And your birthday on Christmas.
On Christmas.
You know, and it was crazy when we first got together. I swear, that was like the coolest thing ever. I'm like telling my cousin, man, oh, and her birthday on Christmas.
Mm-hmm. I'm special.
You're definitely special.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna find out you ain't even like that your birthday was on Christmas.
I still don't like it sometimes. I still don't.
And I come to understand why.
That's a good thing, though.
It is. It is, man. To share Jesus like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even with that, it's amazing too because when we first got together back in 1993, feels like yesterday. But I still remember this was our first holiday that we spent with each other, as far as getting to know each other, really feeling each other. You know, and to be able to share Christmas, your birthday with you, I thought that was super, super cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I had my party.
Yeah, your party. Oh my God, don't talk about that party. That was bittersweet. I mean,
that was normal.
That was normal for you, but I was with all the moles. I was with all the opposite of me, of what I was about at that time. But the party was good, everybody was laid back. You did have some good people, still people that you with today, which I think is cool.
That was good. And you bought me a gift.
Oh, definitely.
Bought
you too.
Gift? I bought you a gift.
I can't remember. I think, I want to say yes.
I bought you some earrings, didn't I, for real though?
I believe from 115th, I believe.
I think I did buy you some earrings. I think it was some dice earrings.
Yeah, some dice.
I
115th.
think that's what I bought you. And you bought me a ring. And you bought me a T-ring?
Bought you a T-ring, yes I did.
Okay. For Tisha. Yeah.
Tisha Stone.
And you bought me something else.
What else did I buy you?
Some candy.
And some yeah, because your uncle ate it up.
Yep, he ate all the candy up.
Yeah.
Sure did. I remember that.
But it was crazy being across the tracks though. Across the tracks is like across the tracks, and when across the tracks, it was like two different worlds.
Yes.
It was two different worlds, and gonna find out we possibly met each other. You know,
Possibly.
I just think that's so amazing. But across the tracks, I mean, we had our struggles from the very beginning to be together. You know, and just because of who we are, what we was around, what was our neighborhood, you know what I mean, who we associate ourselves with.
Yeah.
We had our struggles.
What you laughing at?
Because it's real. I think about these flashbacks. I used to have to go through, I remember like Mission Impossible. When I sneak out the crib in the midnight hour, coming across the tracks,
Yeah.
and like, dun.
No, that's how you was.
That's what I'm saying. That was my flashback. You was different. You was a female.
And you used to pop up a lot too. I didn't even know you was coming. Sometimes I didn't know you was even coming.
Ain't nothing like surprises.
You don't supposed to be popping up on people.
Ain't nothing like surprises.
Didn't your sister bring you over to my house that day? Or was it your mama? No, it wasn't your mama, was it?
I believe my sister picked me up for Christmas. You know, she picked me up that evening. She gotta be special. You know Christmas with her. Yeah, that's special right here, sis.
Yeah.
Even bruised, not broken. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I can't believe you doing that.
I can't either. We always knew we had a voice in the kingdom, the people, what have you. And now we get to share, and it's like definitely out the comfort zone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I'm not even sure about what I'm gonna do.
He was just gonna do it. That's a beautiful thing. I always say this is ministry at its best because we're gonna flow with the spirit. And first we're gonna do what God wants us to do. That's what Bruised Not Broken is about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He allowed us to be back together.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thank God for that. And now we get to be able, we already in effect, you know, we already got a voice for the people, and now I believe the people gonna get closer to God through this. I believe it. I believe that. So Bruised Not Broken. This is gonna be cool right here.
I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
Think you ready?
I think I'm ready. I think I'm
I'm
ready. I can't even get my head wrapped around what I'm about to be saying.
Same here.
I'm gonna keep it real though.
Same here. We're gonna keep it 100.
Real 100 or the fake 100?
We'll keep it 100. That's why even day one is 100.
We're gonna keep it 100 in the spirit, but not the mouth.
We're gonna be wise as a serpent. I mean, be wise.
You doggone right.
Be wise as a dove.
Yeah.
Wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove.
Yes, I agree.
You know, so we already know.
Yeah.
We already know. So I'm excited for what we're doing, and I'm excited that God is excited. And this is now season. And then, too, last but not least, man, I just want to, man, this is the whole soundtrack. I think that's banging. I still listen to it like
it's
the number one chart. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know about all that.
That's how I be banging.
It's catchy though. It's catchy.
And then we all had a part to play.
I
You know what I
know,
mean?
that was so cool.
You sung your butt off.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my girl, you sung your butt off. I had a chance to be Puff Daddy. Let's go.
That was hilarious. That's something to pass down to the great kids.
Kurt had a chance to do the hooks on it.
Kurt Word.
This was Kurt Word. I mean, this is. I'm
and then Pookie ended out.
Bruised but not broken.
No!
Now she said, "My baby was not
broken." Yes.
Yeah. I wonder where everybody can hear us. Our voices in
I
there.
think we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we'll find
I
out.
think we're gonna find out.
News your five.
Lose your 5 all day.
Yeah.
Love you, baby.
Love you too.
First thing I want to say with what I'm doing right now, right, is confessional. That's the very, very first thing that comes into my mind. But it's a little more. It's a little more than a confessional. This is my life. Bruised Not Broken. First and foremost, man, this has been a journey. OMG, a journey. And Bruised Not Broken, I gotta go from the beginning because Bruised Not Broken is me. It is me, you know. Oh man, 1993. That's where it all began with the life I know right now, right? 1993, I just finished my freshman year of high school. Just finished my freshman year of high school, summertime. Let me make it more plain. The summertime of 1993. Everybody know about Chicago. Summertime Chi is the bomb. I mean, ain't nothing like summertime Chi. Anywho, 1993, I just finished my freshman year. So for me, that's like a transition. Okay, I graduated 8th grade into high school. That's a big transition. And now here I am completing the first year of that transition. So this was a big summer. It was a big summer. And when I think about the summer of 93, I think about my auntie Brenda. Rest in heaven, auntie. I think about my auntie. I say this because she was a major part of this summertime of 1993. Reason being, she was there. You know what I mean? She was there. And I remember she said, Curtis, this is going to be a good year for you. I'm a kid, right? I'm 15. She said, Kurt, this is going to be a good summer. And some unexpected things is going to take place. And lo and behold, I met my baby, my wife, you know what I mean? My girl, my everything. But to go back into that moment in time, you know, actually, to go back into that moment of time, I got to go back into a little bit longer than that. Leading into 1993, I grew up as family is everything. That's the first thing I think about my childhood. Family is everything. Nugent. I mean, I got Nugent on my wrist. I don't think you can see it. If you can see it now, it's upside down. But Nugent. I think about my Nugent bloodline. I think about my Coleman bloodline, and both bloodlines packs a hell of a punch because these are two powerful bloodlines. My daddy was a Nugent, my mama was a Coleman. I'm saying all this for a reason. Look at the background right here. You see her, you see me, 1993 Christmas. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Hello and welcome to my booth. This is day one. This is my area where I get to share about the experiences of the past. Hopefully I can remember everything. My memory is so bad. But I did pick this background. It says I want to go fast because that was my attitude. I want to go fast. I think I still want to go fast. I want to hurry up and get to the good part. Then the good part again. Then the good part again. So you know what happens when you rush, right? So what was I doing across the tracks on my side of the tracks? I was living life. I was teenager. I was kicking it. I was having fun. I was being a bad girl. I was just living life, just really not thinking, really not dreaming, not having vision, not having any plans or thoughts, nothing like that. I was really just doing whatever I wanted to do, whatever I thought of. I was just going with the flow. I didn't like school much. I was living with my grandmother. I was having fun. You know, our house is like the party house, like everybody be at our house. So I was used to being around people, having good times, laughing, having fun, eating, just living life. And I had a couple of dates, I guess you could say. I don't even think we was dating then. We used to eat sunflower seeds. I don't know what we was doing. But I did have one little boy that I kind of like, but I think he liked my friend more, but that's another story. But nothing too serious going on. I hadn't met anybody amazing or nothing like that. And I really wasn't looking for anybody. I never was like the girlfriend type. I never was like sitting back wanting to be in a relationship or a marriage. I never thought about having kids. I never thought about none of that. I just thought about, I don't know, doing hair, making money, doing hair. I don't know, having my own life. Okay, I'm back. So I never really thought about relationships like that. I kind of thought about doing hair and having my own money and having my own place.
To be jolly. And I think about them two bloodlines, but growing up within a Nugent bloodline, it was like, this is who you are, this is your identity, and I'm grateful for an identity because I knew I was doing something with my life. Because think about 1993, if you go back to that generation, if you go back to that era, one, rap music was finally rap music. The rap music y'all know today, it was actually rap music at that moment. Hip hop made its presence felt. People were saying hip hop gonna die. This is the generation I lived in. People were saying hip hop was gonna die, and yet and still it stayed strong. And I say that because this was the era I was living in. And with myself, I was like, you know what? I know who I am. I know my ability. So you know what? Let me do the best I can do for myself. And in the process of that, I knew that I wanted somebody to be with. I knew I wanted somebody to be with. I knew at that time I was young and dumb. as all 15-year-old people, you know what I mean? You mess around with a female here, you mess around with a female there. Some females just be friends, whatever the case may be. But you living your life. You're 15, you're a kid. But for myself, I just knew what I knew without even knowing what I was knowing because I was 15. And I knew that I wanted somebody to be consistent with. Consistent meaning to love on, to communicate with, to laugh with. I mean, to know her everything. I can share her my everything, kid and all, right? I wanted that something. And lo and behold, 1993. 1993, I stumbled, right? Because I guess life allows you to so-called stumble. But as we already know, everything is already written. All things do work together for good for those that love God and that are called accordingly to his purpose. And I knew I had a purpose, but to match purpose with God at that time, I was a kid. I ain't know too much about it, but I knew that whatever life I'm living is for a reason. And I met her. I met her. I mean, you meet a lot of people, right? But I met her. I mean, the one that, energy just gravitated to. I mean, I was a kid. Oh my Jesus, 15, I'm 42. I was a kid. And I remember, man, her smile. And I remember her cleavage too. I remember that, the breastises. I remember the breastises. I was like, man, I was a kid, But I remember her smile. I'm like, man, okay. And it caught my attention. She caught my attention. And when
I don't know, grown-up stuff. I always thought about like getting a car, things like that, going off on my own. I think that was the main thing that was on my mind, but I end up doing something totally different. So I was thinking about things like moving into my own place and having my own money, being independent. I was thinking about things like that. Not so much of the American dream. At least not right then, I didn't. So the day that I met Curtis, it was pretty much a normal day. Doing my hair, as always, trying to get cute, go outside, walk the blocks, figure out something to do a little gangbanging, something like that. Same old, but this particular day, I was with another friend of mine, this guy, and he was like, come on, let's go get some drinks or whatever. So I'm like, okay, come on. So I got in his car. It was him, and my other friend. So it was three of us in the car. So we all went to go get some drinks and we had him purchase because, I wasn't old enough to purchase. So when we got up there, he got out, he went inside of the store, and then we saw these guys walking from across the tracks to my side of the tracks. So of course we talked to him, we played with him, we looking at him. We all out the car like, come here. Curtis was inside of that bunch. I didn't really see him because he was in the back. So I didn't see him. So all I saw was his other cousins in the front. I knew it was guys in the back, but I never looked. So they exchanged numbers and all that good stuff. And that was pretty much it. I never really thought nothing was going to come out of it.
And when I say she caught my attention, it was her soul. And once again, I'm a kid, 15. I wasn't that deep in life at that time when it comes to like really overthinking things and really analyzing things of such. But I felt her soul. I felt her innocence. And I remember we all started talking and I was shocked. Let's break down the story really quick. So I got to break down the story to make all of this make sense. My cousin Chris, shout out to you, Chris. He gonna like that, by the way. But I was with my cousin Chris, my cousin Alan, my cousin Dump, but my cousin Chris. I was 15, so he was 17. And he wanted to indulge in some adult activities. He said, let's go ahead and go to the liquor store. And we had to go to the liquor store on the other side of the tracks. That's a whole nother story, right? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the other side of the tracks is just like, it ain't just, oh, okay, we got to go to the other side of the tracks to get there. No. For me, my life, going to the other side of the tracks mean life or death. It mean life or death. We're going to share that in a minute. But I remember Chris like, man, Kurt, Allen, let's go ahead, indulge in some adult activities. And we said, let's do it. It's in the midnight hour. Maybe, I think it was right around 12 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock. You know, by this man in Chicago, Southside, everything open still, you know. But I remember my man, we went, and on the way there, it was like, my eyes, now looking back 27 years later, looking back, I can see how things gravitated. But at that moment in time, I just walked by her like, hold on. I remember now, my eyes caught who she was. It really caught who she was. And, you know, she doing her own thing. She wasn't expecting to see me. I wasn't expecting to see her. And I just remember we just like, oh, okay. And we just had a group conversation. I was a little shy at that moment. You know what I mean? I have my insecurities. I ain't expecting to meet nobody. So I stayed in the background. You know what I mean? I stayed in the background. And my cousins, they was, you know, making themselves, you know, known at that moment. So the following day, we exchanged numbers. We did a little party line. We exchanged numbers.
My friend said that they was pretty much still talking to him and trying to set up some dates and stuff to go meet up with him and his cousin. So I was kind of surprised. So a couple days later, I think it was, or maybe a week later, I'm not sure. They was like, come go with us. We're about to meet them boys from across the tracks. And they had it all set up. They knew who was going to be with who and what their name was. They had already set up. It's like one big blind date that they set up. But I'm like, I don't even remember the faces. How y'all gonna set me up and who I'm supposed to be with? This and that. It was crazy. So we was getting ready to go there, and I did not want to go for some reason. I remember not wanting to go because I didn't have that connection with that day, and I didn't know how they look, and I ain't never talked to them. Even though they think they talk to me, they never talk to me. So I'm like, man, this is odd. So then my mother, she was like, you ain't going outside today, let you take your sister. I'm like, oh, that's messed up. So I had to take my little sister with me to the park to go meet the guys. So I'm already frustrated or whatever. But we get there, and whoever I'm supposed to be talking to is all out of order, because when I saw Curtis, I was like, you, come here. So I kind of like, I'm bold like that. So I just told him to come here. He came, and I asked him to sit down next to me, and he did. And we was talking. So I had picked my person. So everything got out of order because of that. And we had fun. We laughed a lot. I was messing with him, of course, like taking stuff from him, taking stuff off his shoes and stuff like that. He is so cute. His hair was so beautiful. Yeah, he had hair. I remember. I was there. And it was good. It was fun. It was refreshing. So I don't remember what happened too much after that. I know it's like the end of summer and school was getting ready to start back. So we kind of stopped talking. We didn't talk as much. I don't know why we stopped talking. What happened? He probably couldn't handle phone calls. His mama didn't play. But I don't know what happened, but we kind of separated. But I still thought about him. I really did. He was in the back of my mind. And I remember I even asked his cousin, like probably some weeks later, like, how your cousin doing? Asking all them dumb questions.
We exchanged numbers, and we all talked that evening. And the conversation, right? She did not, looking back 27 years later, and think about this, right? My memory is not the best. I can remember things, but 27 years, come on now. But I remember that evening like it was yesterday. I remember getting excited to conversate because I felt like this was my opportunity, because I knew just a moment ago when I like actually saw them, I wasn't in position. So I positioned myself, to say the least. I kept thinking about her. Like I said, it was her and her buddy and somebody else, but her and her buddy. But I kept thinking about her, which was different for me. I see somebody, she cute, whatever, but it wasn't like no soul thing, right? But I'm like, okay, it's shorty, you know what I mean? Let me position myself at least in a conversation. All that being said, right? We talked and we set up something for the following day, and I thought, okay, showtime. It's showtime. I remember like it was yesterday. Oh my God. My cousin Chris, he was, cutting a little hair, whatever. And I said, man, Chris, hook me up. You know what I mean? Back then, y'all see the demonstration now. But back then, I had that hair. You know, they used to call me Rap Trez, man. If it isn't love, why do I feel this way? But yeah, I had my little Rap Trez, man, going on at that time. And my cousin, he hooked me up. He hooked me up because I knew I wanted to make my presence felt. And I think I'm still like that now. I want to make my presence felt for something that's worth going after. I do that now. And even then, at 15 years old, I wanted to make my presence felt because I did not want for me and Aisha, she called, at that moment, she said her name was Tisha, which is her middle name, Latisha. But back then it was Tisha, AKA Tisha Stone. My wife was doing her thing back out there in the streets. But I just remember, I just want to make my presence felt for Tisha. Even say the word Tisha now. That's like, that's amazing. That's amazing. But I just remember, man, when we first met, I was nervous. I got G'd up.
I think I even asked, how you look when you sleep? Weird. I never did that before. That is weird. So we end up getting back talking again. Some kind of way. I don't know how we end up talking. But we started talking again. It was close to the Christmas season, same year. And I invited him to my birthday party. And it's so weird because I actually bought him a gift. Like, why am I acting like that? So I bought him a gift. He bought me gifts. He came to my party. And he had a piece of paper like, would you have my baby? It was the weirdest thing ever. Who does that? Who says yes? Who asks questions like that? That's just like the dumbest thing I'm thinking about right now. So when he gave me the paper, I gave him my birth controls. That was my way of saying, yes, I'll have your baby. Why did I do that? I don't know. I don't know. It was cute. I guess it was fun. And I'm trying to think what I was thinking of in my head when he asked me. I think I thought about starting a new life. Like, wow, that's going to be something new. I want to go fast anyway. So, like, that's new. Let's do that. Nobody ever asked me that before. You're asking me things. People don't ask me stuff. I just usually just take what I want. It's like, it's weird. I'm actually listening to you. Okay, I'm back. So it starts. Everything just begins right then. It's so weird because, like, who asks you to have their baby before you ever even have sex? It's the craziest thing in the world. I should have known that we was going to be a different type of couple right then. I should have known that. But yeah, I did not feel like a little girl during this time either. I'm 15 while I'm talking about all this stuff, but I really didn't feel like a little girl. I felt so grown. I really did. And didn't have a mindset to what was happening. So that's our crazy story, as far as I can remember.
I got G'd up. I got G'd up because, once again, I wanted to make my presence felt And at that moment, right, she wasn't even looking at me because the night before she wasn't looking at me. Remember, it was my cousins and them, and I was in the background. Even when we was on the phone, she didn't know who the heck I was. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make my presence felt, and I did what I set out to do, make my presence felt. And I'm just grateful she connected with me, right? Energy. And at that moment, right? And I keep saying 15 because that's such a lifetime ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. I still remember my thought pattern at the age of 15. Kurt wanted what Kurt wanted. Still kind of like that, you know, but now I'm more godly minded. Let God will be done. But I still want what Kurt wants. We all are. But at that moment in time in life, I know I wanted her. I'm like, man, I want this young lady. It was more than sexually. I felt her innocence. I really, really felt her soul. And it vibed with me. And I remember she brought a little sister too. I believe her little sister was like 3 years old at the time. And I can't even say her little sister. She's my little sister too now. 27 years is 27 years, right? But she was like 3. She was 3 knocking on 4. And I just remember she was just like her big sister. I said, damn, she was like a little mini me. I mean, she's just like you, man. And she had a lot of personality. And that gravitated with me because she was family oriented. And that's who I was. And to go back to just who Curtis is, that's who Curtis is, family oriented. Goes back to Nugent. And it captured me. It really captured me. But I'm just grateful, man. I'm just really grateful that we connected and bruised not broken. Bruised not broken is real. I do remember the challenges that we had to face by the choices we made at such an early age in life. And then too, our upbringing put us in some positions to have to make certain decisions that we thought was the best to make. You know, even with gang banging, you know, I'm a gangster disciple. She's a Blackstone. That brought a lot of complications. To love. So I think it's safe to say at an early age, I was bruised. I was already bruised. I wasn't really broken at that time, but I was bruised. Later on in life, I got broken. I definitely got broken, but thank God that I got healed. So now I just understand and I feel and I can represent the bruises of life. And I owe a lot of my healing to Ice. A lot of it, you know. But with all that being said, bruised not broken. I'm excited for this day one. You know, even the Bible talks about 1,000. One day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. That's what day one of what we're doing mean. I mean, it's more than just one day. It's just so much that brings with it. So hey, I'm just excited. Bruised not broken, and I'm grateful that I'm not broken too. Thank you, Jesus. I'm grateful that I'm not broken. And then we have it, day one. Different sides of the tracks. See, our goal on today is make sure that we not only make everything make sense, but we leave you guys with some spiritual substance. And what better story should I say, but to talk about King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. See, Queen of Sheba, she was looking for something. She heard about this man named Solomon. She heard about this great king, this king with knowledge and wisdom and great substance. So she wanted to see this for herself. See, she was a wealthy woman herself. She had her own kingdom. I mean, a black sister holding it down, and which is really, really awesome. But yet and still, she was looking for something great. She was looking for some substance in her life that she was not getting before. So she went on a journey. Don't that sound familiar to some of us? Going on a journey, looking for something that's bigger than us, that's greater than us, that we can, you know, gravitate to, not even knowing exactly where we're going, but we know where we headed. That make sense. Not knowing where we're going, but knowing where we headed. So a lot of us know where we're headed in life because of purpose and vision. But when we're dealing with this world all around us, sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we get confused. Sometimes we get tripped up. But yet and still, she went on this journey to meet King Solomon. See, King Solomon, he was a mighty man of God. I mean, just like his daddy. I mean, he had a lot of substance in him. And one great thing that he had was the wisdom of God and God himself. See, King Solomon, he will let you know that this is bigger than me. This is the God in me that assists me, that helps me, that guide me to make all these decisions, not just for me, but for my people. So once he met the Queen of Sheba, he was at eye. She was a beautiful woman. She was a fine woman. She was an intelligent woman. She was a wealthy woman. So it caught her attention. But most importantly, he gravitated not just to her face or her flesh, he gravitated to her soul. And one thing about being on different sides of the tracks, right? You got different identities, you got different personalities. And it actually worked out well for them too. They did have a little conflict though when it comes to what God that they serve. And that was a little issue because she had her God, he had her God, and he messed around, King Solomon messed around and allowed some of her gods to infiltrate his life. But what God always does, he corrected him. He scorned him, but he also redeemed him. I know that sounds familiar with somebody, right? Sometimes we let people in our lives that comes with good intentions, but they bring in baggage that don't need to be there. And in return, it sets us back. It put more burdens on us. So one great thing about this story, especially when it comes on different sides of the tracks with King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, she started honoring his God. She brought his God back to her town, her country. All that being said, wisdom played a great part. Not only she became #1 in his life, because think about King Solomon, especially during that time. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines, but she became #1. She became special. And with the Queen of Sheba, at that time, she was pure. She was waiting on that right one. She wanted to make sure that she ain't had no counterfeits in her life. And counterfeits comes often, right? Everything that glitter ain't gold. So she found the real thing. She gave up her virginity to him. They had a baby. And they continue to live life. At the end of the day, bruised not broken is real. And different sides of the tracks, we all can relate to that story. But hey man, we thank you guys for joining us on this first episode. We're looking forward to episode 2. Peace and blessings. See you soon. Woo! What more can I say?
I'm sitting here looking at myself, cracking up laughing.
Are you? Yeah, man. We got done with our day 1 confessional, bruised not broken. Let me know. I was nervous first and foremost. I was a little nervous. It was a cool nervous, fun nervous, but yet still I was nervous to relive and make myself vulnerable. What about you?
I was nervous for the first couple of minutes. And then I saw my reflection, then I was like in it.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Yes. It was definitely a calm spirit about what we did, what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I can't help but to not escape that we're getting comfortable with our uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's actually cool to get comfortable. And so yeah, so day 1 check-in, so you was cool after the initial phase. And so what about the things you was expressing?
I realized that I didn't know who the heck I was.
That's what's up.
I'm like, who was I?
That's
I don't even know.
That's what's up.
And then I was trying to put everything together, like how did it connect?
Okay.
I still don't see the connection on how I got to you. But I do know it was a feeling that I never ever experienced before.
I can definitely say that. You know what I mean? I'm 15, you 14, so I'm really not surprised to hear what you're saying. because we're kids and same here. I did not expect none of this. I didn't expect to be doing this 27 years later.
Yeah.
But yet and still, I knew for myself though. I knew that I was expecting something in life, not knowing exactly what I expected, but I knew to expect something and to receive it at any given time.
Amen.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
That makes sense to me too. And I say this like jokingly but seriously because I don't know. I just was on a mission, I guess. I guess I was on a mission at an early age.
Really?
Between my mom and my daddy and my sister, they knew to have me focus on something. And I knew I love love.
You did?
At an early age.
I'm glad you didn't tell me all that day. I would have ran.
But I told you some weeks and months later, have my baby. We'll talk about that the day too. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, yo.
I don't know how I got there.
Yeah. But confessional, this was cool though. I keep calling it confessional.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I gravitate to it.
But you be talking as if you knew what you were doing that day.
I did not know, but I wasn't surprised. Like now, I don't know what I'm doing. This 2020. We talking about 93, but this is 2020.
But the way you talk about it like you knew what was happening. You knew what you was doing and you was expecting something.
And it's the same thing like right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, ain't nothing changed. I know what I want. I know what my heart's desire. So I'm gonna jump out there, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I know that's what it takes.
So you was just enjoying yourself taking a risk for the day.
I had no other options. I'm gonna live my life.
Oh, well, I had no expectation then. That was one of the things I noticed.
That's what's up.
Sitting here talking now, I didn't have any expectation, but I just wanted to see.
I guess we say.
No, that still ain't right. See, I be confused. Yeah.
Seeking, she should.
I be confused. I think I said that in my book too. Like, I'm confused. I don't know.
You shall find.
I was going because I had to go.
And then you was babysitting your sister too.
And I didn't want to take it, then I went.
Yeah.
But when I got there, I think I just turned on like a light switch. Hey, let me see what I can do today. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah. Yeah, what a life.
What a
But
life.
I'm okay. That was pretty good.
That's what's up.
And I don't even know why I'm doing all this because the rest should be harder than this. This is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing compared to everything else.
This is definitely nothing.
Oh, this ain't nothing.
But this is definitely a milestone, man. And this is definitely what I'm grateful for, because if not day one, I don't know how my 27 years later would be.
Yeah,
And
that is true.
I'm grateful because I don't want to even try to find out how my 27 years would be.
So is it safe to say that I was looking to see if there was something for me, and you was looking to see if it was something for you? Maybe it was the same thing.
I want to say yes.
I think that might be it.
Just different perspectives at the time.
Yeah.
Conscious and subconscious. You know what I mean?
Well, it happened.
That's happened.
I'm glad it's over.
And how things work together.
I'm glad that's done. Cut. Done.
Check in, and it's a wrap.
Yeah.